What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Zebulon Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today, y'all, we have another 2024 WNBA scouting report, and we have Syracuse guard Dyaisha Fair, one of the best scorers ever in women's college basketball history. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Dyaisha Fair, guard, 5'5", her 2023 stats, 22.3 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, 2.4 steals per game. She shot 39.2% from the floor, 37.7% from three, and 79.6% from the free throw line. So, y'all, let's get into her strengths. I think her first strength is that she is a gifted scorer. You're talking about a girl, y'all, that scored 3,405 points in her collegiate career. I mean, that is insane to see a player score that many points. Y'all, God made this girl a scorer. I mean, that is what she does, and she does it at a very, very, very high level. She knows how to get those buckets. You her next strength, y'all. She's a tough shot taker, a tough shot maker. Obviously, throughout her collegiate career, at first she was at Buffalo, then she transferred to Syracuse. Y'all, she had a ton on her plate. And because of that, she had to take a lot of tough shots because, obviously the defense was really keying in on her. But she made a decent amount of those tough shots that she took, y'all. And a lot of tough shots she took would be like, tough mid-range shots and tough pull-up shots, and it would still go in. Her team needed it, right? Syracuse would have not been as good as they were this year without Dyaisha Fair hitting some of those tough shots that she could just continue to hit time and time and time and time and time again. Look at her next strength, y'all. She has a very quick first step, and she will blow by you, okay? And if you're not a good defender, if you don't have the lateral quickness to keep up, you don't have a chance to guard Dyaisha Fair because her first step is so quick. She might have the quickest first step in this entire draft class, which is saying a lot because obviously we got some really talented guards in this draft class, y'all. Her first step is really quick. You got her next strength, y'all. She is the second best ISO player in this class. I think Caitlin Clark is the best ISO player, but I think Dyaisha Fair is right behind her. I mean, y'all, you're talking about a player that, again, like I said a couple of minutes ago, she had all eyes on her. But yeah, she was still able to go one-on-one and get those buckets. She really reminds me of AI in terms of her one-on-one ability. Like, you just put the ball in her hands, and she is going to find a way to make it work. Similar to how AI used to do back in the day. Even though he didn't have great teammates either, he was still able to get find a way to get a bucket. Dyaisha Fair is the same way, y'all. Put the ball in her hands. She's going to get a bucket. She's going to take you one-on-one. She's going to cross you up. She's going to take her time, which that's what I really love about her. She's going to take her time, but she's going to cross you up. She's either going to pull up in your face or she's going to cross you up and get right to the rack. She did that so many times throughout her collegiate career. You her next strength, y'all. I think it's her upside as a secondary playmaker. I do not think that Dyaisha Fair can be your primary ball handler / playmaker at the next level. But I definitely believe she could be a secondary ball handler. I mean, she averaged 4.1 assists per game for a career, which is pretty impressive considering the teams that she played on. And I think, y'all, like, say if she was to go to the Aces, for example, right? She played next to Chelsea Gray. I could easily see her being, a really solid secondary playmaker. Because obviously, if she went to the Aces, Chelsea Gray, she's the primary playmaker for that team. But Dyaisha Fair wouldn't have to worry about trying to get a lot of assists, trying to set her teammates up because she would be playing with a supremely talented point guard like Chelsea Gray. So I think for her, she can definitely be a good secondary playmaker. And going to a team that already has an established point guard, I think will really help her. You get her next strength, y'all. She is lightning quick, getting down the court with the ball in her hands. I mean, you better be able to keep up with Dyaisha Fair because not, she is just going to go. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, where the heck did she go? And by the time you try to look back for her, y'all, she's already blowing past you, going to the rack or pulling up for a little three-point shot. She is just so quick. And I know a lot of people are like, well, she should be really quick because she's 5'5". But y'all, we all know that sometimes the shorter you are does not mean you're going to be quicker. We've seen players be 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and be faster than some players that's 5'5", 5'6", or 5'7". But Dyaisha Fair, lightning quick, getting down the court with the ball in her hands, y'all. She is a blur in transition. You do not want to deal with her. But she's very patient. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, she's very patient, y'all. Even though she does move very quickly up and down the court, she's patient in there. She's not out of control. That's why she doesn't have a lot of turnovers in fast break situations like a lot of young point guards do, because she is so under control. And then finally, y'all, I think her last strength is that she is good at playing passing lanes. You talking about for her career, y'all, she averaged 2.5 steals per game. For her career, she has 380 steals. And again, reminds me of AI, because we know AI was not a great on-ball defender. He was not a great one-on-one defender because of his height. And Dyaisha Fair is the same thing. She's not a great one-on-one defender. But in terms of playing them passing lanes, picking your pocket, oh, she's definitely going to do that. And because she's so low to the ground, y'all, she's already like right there close to the ball. So all she has to do is just put her hand in there, and she's going to steal it. Very, very, very good at playing passing lanes. I think, y'all, we could see her lead the league in steals 2 or 3 seasons in the WNBA, and that would surprise a lot of people. But y'all, if you watch Dyaisha Fair, you know she is really great at playing them passing lanes and picking your pockets. Again, is she ever going to be an all defensive team player? No, because she's not a great defender, but she is good at picking your pocket and playing the passing lanes. All right, y'all, so let's get into her weaknesses. I think her first weakness is her decision making. I think her decision making is very questionable at times. Sometimes she just pull up for really bad shots, and I know I said she's a tough shot taker, tough shot maker, but sometimes, y'all, we're like, oh, I'm like, okay, Dyaisha, you know you definitely can't make that because it's too contested. It might be 2 or 3 players on her, y'all, and she still decides to shoot it. And then she doesn't make the best decision when it comes to like knowing when to pass the ball, knowing when to give it up. I think sometimes she is trying to do a little too much, so she definitely needs to improve her decision making as a guard, because again, even though I don't think she's going to be a primary ball handler / playmaker, y'all, she will be a secondary ball handler / playmaker. And even with that, you still got to be able to make good decisions, or if not, you're not going to be able to play it like. You with her next week is, y'all, her efficiency. You're talking about throughout her collegiate career, she never shot above 40% in her career. She was a 38.7% career field goal shooter. Not great. Now, she was 35% from the three-point line for her career, which is good. But 38.7% from the floor is not good. And I know some of this is because, probably really a lot of this is because the teams that were around her were never great. So she did have to take a lot of shots. But, you know, Dyaisha Fair had a lot of games, y'all. She was like 9 of 24 or 11 of 27. You know, just using those for examples. Like, she had some really, 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 really inefficient games. You even saw it, y'all, in the tournament. A lot of times she would have inefficient games. Actually, in their last game, right, she only shot 27% against UConn. I know it was UConn, but I mean, 27% is not good. She also had 5 turnovers in that game. And so her efficiency is just not great. I do think it's going to get better when she gets to WNBA and she's playing against, she's playing with more talented players. But y'all, her efficiency right now is not great. You look at her next weakness, y'all. I think she can gamble defensively. Now, sometimes this works out for y'all, but other times it does not work out. I told you a few minutes ago that she is good at playing passing lanes. Well, sometimes she tries to play those lanes too much instead of just trying to at least stay in front of her player as much as she can. And y'all, this can lead to her giving up a wide open 3 or getting a wide open layup. And this can also lead to, y'all, one of her teammates having to try to come over and help defense, but it's too late because Dyaisha Fair is already gambled and her teammate cannot come to her rescue quick enough. And so that's something that she's going to have to tone down, because y'all, in the WNBA, you cannot gamble. Man, this league is just filled with so many talented players, so many talented scorers. If you gamble like that defensive, they will make you pay, okay? They're not going to miss shots. They're going to make most of the shots they take, so you can really not gamble defensive. She's going to have to tone that down. And then, y'all, think her last weakness, it's a question for me. Can she play off the ball? You know, we've never seen Dyaisha Fair play off the ball. Obviously, and I've said this probably at least 2 or 3 times in this video, she did not have great teams with her at Buffalo or at Syracuse. So she's not like she had really any other teammates that she could put the ball into their hands and they can make things happen. So we never got to see her play off the ball. She always had the ball in her hands pretty much every single time down the floor. So I do want to see, y'all, can she play off the ball and still be successful? Okay, because I think Dyaisha Fair could be a solid catch and shoot shooter, but that's not really who she is, though, right? She's more of like AI, like I said, she's more of like James Harden. We've seen James Harden, y'all, this season for the Clippers, and beginning of the season it was a little shaky for him because he really was not used to ever not having the ball in his hand. He hadn't done that since his OKC Thunder days. So it was an adjustment period for him. I think it's going to be an adjustment period for Dyaisha Fair, just learning how to play without the ball, learning how to spot up, be a spot up shooter, be a catch and shoot 3-point shooter, learning how to cut, move without the basketball. These are all things that she's going to have to learn how to do because she did not have to do that at Syracuse and y'all are Buffalo. And this is really my biggest question for her is, can she play off that ball? Even more than her decision making offensively and her gambling defensively. I just really, really, really think, y'all, that it's gonna be, can she play off the ball? And if she can, I think Dyaisha Fair will have a really good career. So y'all, let's get into her pro comparison, her prospect grade, and then I'll get up out of here with the conclusion. So my pro comparisons, I should say, for Dyaisha Fair is Lou Will, and Cappie Pondexter. Let me repeat, my pro comparison is Lou Will and Cappie Pondexter. Now, the reason I compared to Lou Will, y'all, is because I can actually see her being like Lou Will in terms of being like a 6th Woman of the Year candidate style player. But I think, y'all, her and Lou Will both play very similarly offensively in terms of being tough shot takers, tough shot makers. They got like a kind of herky-jerky game. They play very different from a lot of their opponents. They're not the most efficient players, and I think she's a better defender than Lou Will. But offensively, y'all, her and Lou Will play very similar. Again, tough shot makers, tough shot takers. Not the most efficient, but can give you instant offense. On any given night. Lou Will at his best, y'all, he can get 25 or 30. I think Dyaisha Fair is going to have some nights in the WNBA. She gets you 25 or 30. People are like, wow, I can't believe she did that. And then Cappie Pondexter, y'all, I think defensively, she reminds me of Cappie Pondexter. Obviously, Cappie Pondexter is a little bit bigger than Dyaisha Fair, and she was able to have more of an impact as like an on-ball defender. But in terms of like having just that dog mentality, y'all, she really reminds me of Cappie Pondexter. And I think her mid-range shooting kind of reminds me of Cappie Pondexter as well. So, y'all, my prospect grade for her, I gave her a grade of 90, meaning she's a very good player, could be an all-star. And I really think Dyaisha Fair could be an all-star. I know some people are lower on her than I am. That's fine. I really like Dyaisha Fair. I don't think she's a great player. I don't think she's an elite player. I think she's a very good player, y'all. And really, if she's, again, like I said, if she's able to show that she can play out the ball, there's no reason she should not be an all-star player. So, in conclusion, y'all, Fair is an amazing and crafty scorer. She can score it from all 3 levels, and she can get some steals as well. She isn't the biggest player, but she has a big game, and she will provide instant offense for her team. I mean, you're talking about, y'all, that at the bare minimum, Dyaisha Fair is going to be an impact player offensively. She's going to be a girl. You can say, hey, Dyaisha, get in there, give me like 15, 20 points, y'all, and she's going to be able to do it, even if she never, ever, ever is able to really become a great off-the-ball player. We obviously know she's never going to be amazing defensively, but I think she can, like I said before, I think she can lead the league in steals a couple of times. But, y'all, at the bare minimum, she will be somebody that's going to come in the game and get you buckets. And at the end of the day, that's still valuable in the league, okay? Because, y'all, here's the thing. Not everybody on your team has to be two-way players, and that's fine. You need some players that might just be offensive players. You need some players that might just be defensive players. Dyaisha Fair is, yes, she's more of an offensive player. Obviously, she's an elite scorer, but she also can play a little bit of defense. But really, y'all, at the end of the day, when I look at Dyaisha Fair, I'm like, she has a ton of value in the league because she can score, and you can never have enough scorers on your team. So there you have it, y'all. That is my WNBA scouting report for Syracuse guard Dyaisha Fair. Remember, laughter is good medicine, so make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm an Indian man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.